Good afternoon, everyone, and you're very welcome to the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards for 2022. I'm Sarah Travers, and once again, I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this prestigious event and to have the chance to celebrate the achievement of our finalists and indeed the success of Northern Ireland's apprenticeship programmes. For the second year in a row, as you can see, we're bringing you these awards from a studio setting. And while we would much rather be with you to celebrate in person, I hope that you'll really enjoy today's ceremony wherever you are and have this opportunity to learn more about the world of apprenticeships from the apprentices, from the employers and the trainers themselves. Now, over the past few weeks, we've had the pleasure of filming the finalists' personal journeys, and we can't wait to show you their inspiring stories and to celebrate their achievements. So let's get things underway now, and please join me in welcoming Gordon Lyons, MLA, of course, the Minister for the Economy, to open today's ceremony. Minister.
Thank you, Sarah. It's great to be here today at the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards 2022 ceremony, which is taking place as part of Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Week. As with so much of what has happened in our lives over the past 2 years, we have had to adapt to the challenging circumstances, which means that, once again, these awards are being hosted online. And whilst I am truly disappointed that I do not get to meet all the finalists in person, it does mean that we can share your achievements with a much bigger audience. This ceremony is one of some 40 apprenticeship events that are taking place this week across Northern Ireland, and it is really encouraging to see the collaboration between local councils, employers, universities, further education colleges and private training organisations who are all providing a wide range of events and activities demonstrating how apprenticeships change lives, can lead to rewarding careers and change businesses for the better. We have a strong apprenticeship ethos in Northern Ireland, and as Economy Minister, I've been very fortunate to meet so many of our wonderful apprentices and their employers. Developing the skills of all our people is a key priority for me as we seek to position Northern Ireland as one of the world's leading small advanced economies. I am determined to keep skills at the centre of our long-term strategic plans as envisioned in my department's vision for a 10x economy and skills strategy. Northern Ireland has an amazing wealth of talent, and I am committed to doing everything within my power to ensure that we continue to develop an effective skills pipeline that supports our people, our employers and our economy. Apprenticeships provide opportunities to young people and those who want to make a career change, to gain skills and experience in their field of choice and provide employers with a highly skilled workforce. Congratulations to today's finalists and all who were nominated for an award. You have all shown exceptional commitment to the apprenticeship programme, and that is to be commended. Apprentices are committed, they learn and adapt quickly to their new environment, quickly adding real value to their employers. It is this commitment, resilience and readiness to develop new skills that will ensure your own future success and strengthen our wider economy. I also want to thank all those employers who have the foresight and commitment to invest in our young people and in our apprenticeship system. You have recognised the value that an apprentice can bring to your business. And I also want to thank the commitment and enthusiasm of all of our training providers who deliver our apprenticeship programmes. Once again, the number and quality of nominations received for this year's Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards have been exceptional. I want to thank each and every one of you who took the time to nominate an apprentice, employer or training provider. To our apprentice finalists, I congratulate each and every one of you. This is an incredible achievement. Your trainers, your employers, and of course your families should all be so very proud. You are a testament to the high skill and talent levels we enjoy here in Northern Ireland. And to our employer and training provider finalists, I congratulate you on your commitment to apprenticeships. Without you, we would not have the quality of apprenticeships we are all so proud of. Congratulations to you all. I hope you will enjoy your well-deserved success. Enjoy the day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Minister. And I think we can all agree that our apprentices, their employers and their training providers really do a truly wonderful job. Now, let me take you through how this afternoon's going to work. We will start shortly by watching a video montage of all of our 18 finalists, so look out for yourself, and then we'll be stepping straight into the awards. In between each award, we have the pleasure of hearing from our guest speaker, who is two-weight world champion boxer, Carl Frampton. And we're absolutely also thrilled to welcome back to the stage two of our former 2021 award winners, Apprentice Award winner Chantel McDonough and higher level Apprentice Award winner James Matchett. So do enjoy the day. I think it's about time that we should get things underway. So first of all, sit back and let's take a look at all of our 2022 finalists. Our finalists, and I hope you managed to spot yourself there in that montage. Now we move on to the main event, the awards themselves. And first up is the small to medium enterprise category. This award recognises the significant role that small and medium-sized employers play when it comes to supporting apprenticeships across a wide range of occupations and sectors. Let's hear now from our small to medium enterprise finalists on their experiences working together as apprentice employers and training providers.
Bring many benefits to Fusion Heating. Most importantly, a real enthusiasm and eagerness to learn. They also bring relevant, up-to-date industry knowledge to our business. They create a real sense of youth and vibrance within the organisation.
We've worked in partnership with Fusion through various Cycle Skills Council meetings and one-to-one sessions with the various directors in Fusion, trying to bring a gas-ready apprenticeship to the industry that suits the main employers in Belfast.
We've worked closely with Belfast Metropolitan College now for over 15 years to develop the apprenticeship development training, and we've also worked with them in terms of being more flexible in our approach. For example, during the COVID pandemic, when apprentices couldn't get into college, Fusion were able to provide apprentices with computers and laptops, printers within our office in a safe environment where they were able to complete their NVQ portfolios.
Bringing apprentices in the current economic situation in the province where there are severe skill shortages in plumbing, it allows Fusion to further develop their business needs, go for larger contracts, expand the business.
As a business, we're delighted to be shortlisted for the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards 2022. We invest heavily in apprenticeship development and have done for the last 15 years.
I think our partnership should win because it demonstrates how collaterally moving together can do the best for the student. We can put a first-class student into the workplace and help them upskill, learn and make a job for life themselves.
What Apprentice bring to McGuinness Plumbing is bring a freshness, stop the company going stale. There's new guys coming in every year. They're vitally important to McGuinness Plumbing in the sense that for labour for the present day, for helping us deliver projects, and then for the future they're going to be the senior managers.
McGuinness Plumbing, the apprentices, what they've brought to them is the opportunity to build their business. You know, training within McGuinness Plumbing is very much at the core. It's very much part of the culture.
We have a construction management app, but we've actually got them to put part of it for apprentices, whereby the guys update how the apprentices are performing every few weeks. All that information that's gathered from the app that helps us, and it also shows where they're struggling, where we can help them, or where they're excelling.
When we work with McGuinness Plumbing, the apprenticeships is core, but they also look within their own team at upskilling opportunities.
To be a finalist in the 2022 Apprenticeship Awards is a huge recognition of the effort that we've been putting in over the years alongside Southern Regional College. Each year we try and tweak it and make it better and better so that we're retaining more and more apprentices. Even for the apprentices themselves, good for them to be proud to be part of a company that's being recognised, putting a huge effort into their futures.
I believe our partnership should win because we have seen the full cycle of how the apprenticeship system works. He doesn't stop giving back, Tommy. He understands from his starting point. He was an apprentice with the SRC. He's seen the benefit of it. He has nurtured and supported in their starting their own businesses and recruiting apprentices.
Our business benefits by the apprentices being there by giving us a succession plan. So by training these apprentices into their roles, we naturally replace people who are retiring or who have left.
From the very outset, whenever we were developing the programme, there was a high level of engagement to choose units and develop a curriculum that met the business needs, but also individual learner needs.
Bringing their background training from CAFRA into their physical training, we were finding we have a much more knowledgeable apprentice. We were able to accelerate their training. For example, we had a couple of apprentices who trained on 6 high-speed packing lines. We were able to do that in 12 months. That would have taken easily more than 2 years.
The programme has been very innovative for Lakeland areas. They've been able to choose units that are very specific to their business. It isn't a one-size-fits-all type programme. CAFRA are absolutely delighted to be a finalist in the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards. From the very start of the programme, Lakeland areas have shown a very high level of commitment and dedication to the apprenticeship programme. They've started this programme in the midst of a global pandemic, which isn't easy for any company, but their dedication and commitment to ensuring that that programme has continued seamlessly throughout the pandemic has been absolutely fantastic.
I think we should win because we have focused so much time on learning. We have worked our production plan around the learning of the apprentices so that they could attend their weekly theory class, but we continued and focused on the training aspect of that, which has seen big benefits for us.
SME finalists, but let's welcome back the Minister now to announce the winner of the SME category.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And the quality of the finalists is very impressive. However, there can only be one winner. And the SME Employer Award goes to McGuinness Plumbing in partnership with Southern Regional College. Well done to you both.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, thank you so much, Minister. And a big congratulations to McGuinness Plumbing in partnership with Southern Regional College. Well done to you. The judges commended McGuinness Plumbing along with Southern Regional College for their culture of progression, offering apprentices a range of routes to genuinely grow talent. Well, now we have our first guest speaker for today, and it's a case of welcome back to our 2021 Higher Level Apprentice Award winner, James Matchett. Now, James is currently employed by Kainos Group plc as a cyber security engineer, and he's going to share his apprenticeship journey with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Sarah, and Minister Lyons for inviting me to speak here today about my journey as an apprentice. My name is James Matchett, and in 2021 I had the honour of being awarded Northern Ireland's Higher Level Apprentice of the Year Award by the Department for the Economy for my work during my apprenticeship at Kainos Software and Ulster University. I work at Kainos as a senior cybersecurity engineer, and as part of their higher level apprenticeship scheme, this means that I currently undertake a full-time job with Kainos, building out my career, skills and networking in industry while achieving a full degree with honours at Ulster University. The opportunities and experiences I've had the privilege of enjoying during the Earn to Learn scheme have been phenomenal. I've had the opportunity to contribute to the digital COVID-19 response, learn how to hack and then protect critical online resources, have workshops I've written and taught in cyber reaching thousands of school pupils up and down the UK. and all this while earning a bachelor's degree in computing systems, as well as earning a salary. The benefits of a higher level apprenticeship scheme are clear to see. Having 4 to 5 years of real industry experience under your belt by the time you graduate, with zero student debt and a full degree to boot. My journey as a cybersecurity engineer really began all the way back at primary school. My teachers there saw I had a passion for all things technology, and they fostered my interest from a very early age by continually encouraging me to figure out how things work. I'd like to specifically mention Mr. Platt, our primary school IT teacher, who then gave me the spark that I've carried on to today. Since secondary school, I had the privilege of being surrounded by friends, family, teachers, and my parents, who always believed in me and gave me the courage to carry on with what I loved. This led me to taking on projects in my spare time, taking placement schemes and sponsored events. My first encounter with Kainos was actually back in 2016, during my GCSEs as part of their code camp, and I returned there the very next year to mentor. After my A-levels, I was faced with the same choice as my peers in my school year, where to go for university. Some chose to stay at home, others chose to go far and wide, but I chose a different path. I knew from the time that I spent on placements before my A-levels that I wanted to get stuck straight into industry from day one. I wanted to learn and apply the skills used in the real world, as well as make an impact on the things that matter. Although, at the same time, I didn't want to lose the chance to earn a degree, and I also wanted to stay close to friends and family who did go to university. That is why I'm so grateful for the higher level apprenticeship scheme that I'm on. It's given me the opportunity to do everything I wanted to do and more. I love the fact that I'm able to contribute and make a difference on real world projects while still attending university and being with my friends. And I know that once I graduate, the skills I have built up in the workplace will carry me so much further. Earning and learning at the same time unquestionably benefits me in both the world of work and the world of education. In the world of work, in industry, it has taught me how to be a better learner by having the curiosity to ask questions and learn more, to have the courage to put my hand up and say when I don't know something and need help, and the communication skills to be able to take what I've learnt and teach others. It works the other way too. Things that I've spent time working on in industry have helped me immensely in university, as I've already worked in that area before. I can apply what I know in the best way possible and expand my horizons far beyond what I could otherwise do if I had just entered the workplace or just undertook a standard degree path. Some people may think that choosing a degree apprenticeship closes some doors, but in fact it opens all doors in my opinion. I've had the opportunity to join clubs and societies, make the Dean's List on several occasions, be a university student and be with my friends, as well as go for and achieve promotion in the workplace many times and take charge of my own career. In my opinion, a higher level apprenticeship just makes sense. Last year when I was nominated for the Higher Level Apprenticeship Award, I was speechless. I couldn't believe that out of all the fantastic colleagues I work with, and of all other apprentices in Northern Ireland, that I had made the shortlist. This event is a celebration of everything that we have strived for and achieved over the course of our apprenticeships. It is humbling that someone is watching and recognising the effort that we put in to make these schemes a success. Although winning, for me, had completely made my year and gave me the chance to go forward and be an ambassador for apprenticeship schemes in Northern Ireland, being nominated as a finalist is just as big an honour. It shows that you have the drive, determination and personality that makes these apprenticeship schemes what they are. You're making your peers, colleges and workplaces extremely proud of who you are, what great accomplishments you achieve and what you stand for. With that, I'd like to wish our 3 finalists the very best of luck for the 2022 Northern Ireland Higher Level Apprentice Award. Thank you.
Oh wow, James, you have had such an incredible year and you know exactly what the finalists at home are going through right
Indeed.
now. What were the nerves like last year?
Last year it was a sense of trepidation and just anxiety, just wanting to know what the result was. So I wish everyone the best of luck for the result.
Fantastic. Well, that brings us nicely on to our next award, the 2022 Higher Level Apprentice Award. Now, this award recognises those who have already completed A-levels or their equivalent and who took the opportunity to gain a higher qualification, like James, whilst in paid employment. The judges based their decision on the HLA's contribution to the company they work in, coupled with their dedication to excel in achieving relevant qualifications. So let's hear now from our HLA finalists about the positive experiences they've enjoyed from choosing the Earn While You Learn work and study route and their personal outstanding contribution to their employer.
So I'm Lewis Bonds. I'm a high-level civil engineering apprentice with Farms Construction. So the advantages of being an apprentice is you have a job from day one, you're earning whilst you're learning, and you're getting crucial site experience.
It's so good to see our apprentices grow and develop in the business. Having Lewis as a finalist in the Apprenticeship Awards is fantastic. It's a great achievement for Lewis. He has worked so hard, and although we are there to support him as a business, he just pushes himself so much. He has that drive and ambition.
On a personal level, I feel like I've become more confident and I've learnt new skills that I'm able to use on site and even out of work.
Ultimately, as an academic institution, we strive to try and give the students expertise and knowledge that they can then build transferable skills. Okay, so I was really proud to see Lewis reach the final of the Apprenticeship Awards, particularly among such a diverse and highly accomplished group of candidates this year. Lewis himself was highly motivated. He persistently drove to achieve professional qualifications as well as his educational qualifications.
I feel like I should win this award because I've been dedicated throughout the 4 years of the apprenticeship I've already done. In the education side, I've achieved the highest marks possible, and also in work I've pushed myself and I've had positive feedback from my superiors.
So my name is Lewis Connolly. I work in Linden Foods and I work in the MBT department looking after the B2B account. So the advantage of the HLA over other paths would have to be obviously no student fees. The opportunity of being able to go and study for 3 years without having to pay a penny is such a massive aspect of the whole thing. Go to Caffrey and do the course, which is so relevant to the company.
Apprentices allow Linden to really focus on the individuals that want to progress their career within the company. Linden is immensely proud that Lewis has reached the finals in the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards. I think it's a great acknowledgement for the hard work that he's put in, that Caffrey have put in, and that Linden have put in his training.
So I like to think that I have brought a little bit of charisma to my employer. I'm young, I'm energetic, I like to bring new things, new ideas, and I like to innovate within my department. So I like to think I am useful.
When I first met Lewis and we first talked about doing a higher level apprenticeship programme, Lewis showed a high level of ambition, motivation, and was very clear about why he wanted to do the HLA and what he wanted to achieve. We have not been disappointed. Lewis has been a fantastic student. I believe that Lewis should win the HLA award because he has been a fantastic ambassador for Caffrey.
It's an absolute honour to be nominated as a finalist for the Apprenticeship Awards. It's great to see Caffrey getting recognised and Linden for pushing me to go and do this.
Hi, I'm Jessica McMillan. I'm a Systems Support Engineer in Kainos. The advantages of going through this year route, I feel, are that at the end I'll have a full-time job. I get to learn while I earn. I have the opportunity to network with loads of people within my company and outside the company. And as well, I'm a practical learner, so putting into practice what I learn in uni.
For our apprentices, while they study at university, they will bring that knowledge back into the company. By extending our entry-level programmes to this level, it really helps us bridge that digital skills gap. It's absolutely fantastic to have Jessica as a finalist. It is so well deserved. I think she's a real fantastic role model for the apprentice scheme. She's an ambassador for Kainos, and I think she's just an inspiration for any young person, especially female, wanting to come into the industry.
I feel like I've brought my hard work, determination to the team and Kainos, and also in the apprenticeship programme.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a training provider, our main goal is to try to accelerate and grow young talent. It's fantastic to have Jessica as a finalist. Jessica is a fantastic student, a really good role model and ambassador for the course. Jessica should win because she embodies what it means to be an excellent apprentice.
I feel like I should win this award because of my hard work within Kainos, my hard work within university as well. I've worked hard to get to where I am now, to show that anything is possible for girls out there too. I feel like it'll be really rewarding and encouraging as well.
Wow, well done to our finalists and good luck. Now, James, I know you're going to reveal right now who the winner is.
Thank you, Sarah. And now to announce the Higher Level Apprentice Award for 2022. And the winner is Lewis Connolly.
Amazing. Well done to Lewis Connolly, the Higher Level Apprentice Award winner for 2022. And the judges noted that Lewis demonstrated excellent problem solving, time management skills, and was always aiming to be a star employee. So amazing. It's now time to take a short break as we then get ready to welcome our VIP speaker today, former 2-weight world champion boxer. It's Carl Frampton. Don't go away. Well, super excited to have Carl Frampton here with us today to celebrate the success of our winners and our finalists. But also, Carl, you're a real inspiration for so many people, but especially here in Northern Ireland. And I'd love to just begin, first of all, with you telling us a little bit about your journey to becoming a world champion boxer.
I started very young boxing. I was only 7, probably too young, if I'm being honest. And when I was 7, I looked like I was 5, probably. But I just fell in love with it, and it was really a confidence thing. Is the reason why I got into boxing. I was an underconfident kid, and I'd have been, pushed around outside in the street and stuff. And boxing was something that I really enjoyed and I was good at. And that was it. It just kind of snowballed from there. I had my bad years around 16 or 17, going off the rails a bit, as 16 and 17-year-olds do. But I got back on the straight and narrow, and yeah, the rest is history.
And what was life like growing up for you? I mean, was boxing something that many of the young boys were doing in your area?
No, not really. The local club was literally a 2-minute walk from my front door, so it was curiosity really, and obviously the confidence issues I was having as a kid as well. And my mum was a big advocate of me going into boxing, and maybe it was because she's seen the lack of confidence outside. But there wasn't too many. There'd be nights when I was there on my own training, but I just had this. I was good at it, and I had this determination to be a champion really. And at the start, it was only to be an Irish champion, and then obviously as you get better and older, things start to progress and develop.
So you always thought big. You always had your sights on success.
Well, yeah. So the big thing when I was an amateur was to become Irish senior champion as an amateur, and I'd done that. I just turned 18 actually, and I was the Irish senior champion of flyweight, which is 8 stone, which is about 4 stone ago. So I won that, and then I won another national title. But then after that, I turned professional in 2009, and the dream turning professional was to win a world title. So I've kind of overachieved in a sense, because I've won more than I actually believed I could have at the start.
Well, you've been incredible, and everybody watched your success, and you were always really proud to come from here, and you've always helped others coming behind you. Many people here today, and we just heard there from James, who was last year's Higher Level Apprentice winner, talking about Mr. Platt, that one teacher that believed in him. And do you have somebody like that stands out in your mind who believed in you?
I have plenty of people, and if we're talking about teachers, we can talk about my PE teachers who always pushed sport, and they knew I was good at sport, and Mr. Hastings, Mr. Neil, Mr. Officer. I had an English teacher called Miss McNally, who was also my form teacher, lovely girl, and she was always helping me out and helping other people. But the big influence and the big kind of mentor that I had in my life was my old amateur coach, Billy McKee, and Billy sadly passed away recently, but he had such a positive impact on my life, and I don't believe I'd have done what I have done in my career if it hadn't have been for the advice of Billy along the way.
And what do you think? Was there a key piece of advice, or was it constant advice? Was it a little bit of carrot and stick, or what way did it work?
He's just full of wisdom, all very, very wise. And what I liked about Billy was he was just straight. honest, said how it is. You know, it didn't matter if he offended you or not. But he was a great guy, just a hard-working wee man who had this. It's not that he demanded to be respected, but he had this, like, I don't know, it was weird, an aura about him for me anyway, and I always just wanted him to respect me as well, and that was it really.
So many of the apprentices here are in workplaces, and mentoring is something that they really value. Do you mentor now, or how does it work?
Well, not so much. I wouldn't say I'm a mentor to anyone in particular, but I'm always giving advice. If someone wants advice, I think I'll always give them, especially boxing, which is my game. Like I know a little bit about that, but not much about anything else. So if someone's seeking advice in that world, I would always be helpful to them and help them out.
So if there's a young boy or young girl or whoever that wanted a career and wanted to reach those heights, and they think, what would Carl Frampton say to me now? What advice would you give?
Well, what I would say is listen to your trainers first and foremost. What happens, and I suppose it happens in other sports as well, where parents get involved and the parents try to take over in the coaching and development of their kids. But there was a rule in our club, kind of parents aren't allowed really into the gym too much to try and coach their kids, because the coaches are there. They're all volunteers, the coaches in the amateur clubs, but they know what they're talking about. And you can't have someone tell you something and another person tell you something completely the opposite. So I was a young boxer. Listen to your coaches rather than your parents or guys in the street or guys in the pub who think they can tell you how to fight when they don't really know.
Everybody knows better than you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that actually is something, because then when you get to that level of a success and everybody suddenly sees there's money to be made, with Carl Frampton as well, or, they have other agendas or whatever. But how do you stay true to yourself?
Well, I don't know. I suppose you learn from your mistakes as you go up, and I've made plenty of mistakes, and I've had people who have, there's hanger-oners and people who come into your life, and obviously when you start doing well and being a bit more successful and appearing on TV and making a bit of money, these people suddenly start coming into your life. But I suppose it's about understanding who the real people are, who's always helped you from the start. That's not to say that someone who you've met later in life isn't going to try and help you, but you have to be careful as to who you pick and choose as your mentors and your advisors.
Knowing who you can trust, I
Absolutely.
suppose, at the end of the day. And how did you cope with all of the fame and that side of things? I suppose when fame happens, it can happen quite quickly, it can happen overnight. But how did your life change?
It didn't really change, really, if I'm being honest. I think that what changed was I got noticed a little bit more on the street, but that was okay. It just meant that people were talking to me. People on the whole are nice, and they maybe sometimes want a photograph or just a chat. Normally, that's all it is, and I've enjoyed that. I'm a people person. I enjoy talking to people. One of the big things for me is on nights out, when people have a few drinks in them. People always ask me questions, anyone ever try and fight you? No, don't never try and fight me, but what they always do is try and tell me how to fight, as if they know better. This is what you should have done. That's a little bit annoying, but apart from that, it's good.
How do you sort of politely say,
I just go along with it. Yeah, yeah, normally.
You have to learn to kind of nod and walk away. Boxing and being any kind of professional athlete or sports star requires such discipline, and maybe in boxing even more so than other disciplines. You talk there about the weight, very specific, your diet, your training. How did you find that, apart from the little wobble in the teens?
Yeah, it was hard. It really was hard. But once I hit about, I suppose when I was 20, 21, I just got really serious about it, and I realised that I could actually make a profession out of this, and this could be my job, which I'd much prefer to do than, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but boxing is a short career. It's very hard. While you're in it, dedicated and working hard every day, but it's very short. I'm retired before I'm 35.
Wow.
Other people don't get that opportunity, and 9 to 5, working 9 to 5 in jobs that maybe they don't like. But I kind of had it in my head that I knew it was difficult. I knew it was going to be tough mentally and physically, but I knew that it was a short career and I was going to just put me all into it while I was in it.
It's dangerous too. I mean, you talked about your mum wanting you to get into boxing. You're a parent now yourself. Is that something you would be encouraging in your children?
No, not my kids, and not because I think amateur boxing is a safe sport. If I'm being honest, it's a lot more safer than professional boxing. The gloves are bigger. They wear head guards. If any kid seems to be getting hurt, the referee will jump in and stop the fight normally. So it's not, amateur boxing isn't the brutal sport that it can sometimes be made out to be, and some people believe that it is. It's definitely not. But it's a hard sport, and it takes a lot of sacrifices, and for that reason, I probably wouldn't. I'm never going to push my kids into it. I know my wee boy especially, actually my little girl as well, she's very sporty, she may ask to do it too, but I'll never push them into it, but I know at some stage they'll wanna have a go.
You talked about even understanding at a very young age that you had confidence issues, and that's probably something that a lot of people watching today will relate to. You know, sometimes pushing yourself and doing something that scares you is the best thing for building confidence.
Yeah, maybe. And there's nothing more scary. I don't imagine. My first fight was up the North Coast in a hotel in Port Stewart when you were still allowed to smoke indoors and a smoke-filled room with a lot of rowdy people. I was the away fighter. A lot of people there supporting the other kid. It wasn't, not saying it's hostile when you're 7 years old. People aren't that way inclined, but you know, imagine as a 7-year-old, you know, a room full of people and you go and have a fight with another kid. It's pretty daunting, but it was something that I get used to. But there was always them nerves ahead of every fight.
And how did you cope with those?
I don't know. I just, you know, it's the ring walk is when the nerves were at their highest, and I don't know, I just have like I can't turn back now. I've done all the training. I'm here now. Everybody's paid their hard-earned money to come and support me. You get to the point where you're kind of like, I'd rather not be doing this, but I'm in it. I have to do it.
It's kind of like that threshold anxiety, like I'm ready now, and all of that. So there's a lot of talk as well about resilience at the minute, and I think even just through the pandemic and for everybody, and we know that mental health is such a big issue for so many. Would you say you're a very resilient person? And if so, would you pass on any tips on how to be resilient?
I think yeah, you could describe me as resilient. Tips on being resilient? I don't know. I think it's just an attitude really and a mindset, isn't it? And you got to understand that things aren't always going to go your way, and certainly things haven't always went my way in my career. And I suppose my personal life at times as well, which affects so many people. But it's just about understanding that things will get better at some point for the most, and just pushing on until you see that.
And you talked about those challenges. What do you think has been the biggest challenge for you, and how do you think you got through it?
Well, I had a pretty high-profile court case at a stage,
you did.
And I had a big split for my former team. That was pretty challenging at the time, pretty stressful for myself and my family as well. But that was something that I felt I was justified in doing that. It was a shame that it happened, but it had to happen. And yeah, I suppose it's finished now, and I'm happy with the outcome.
And no regrets?
No regrets. Well, maybe one regret, and that would be, I'm not saying this flippantly, and people may laugh at this, but always have a solicitor look at contracts.
Right, there's a good tip for anybody. Now, we have a question in actually from James Matchett, our higher level apprentice winner from last year. He asked me to put a couple of questions to you. He said, do you believe you have to be a certain age to begin working towards your goals, or do you believe you can start at any time?
Well, you know, if you're 70 years old and you want to be playing the Premier League or something, that's not going to happen. But
be realistic.
I mean, if I don't believe you have to be a certain age. No, I think that, you know, I don't believe you have to start very young. If, you know, we're talking here the apprenticeship awards, you can be an apprentice in your 20s, in your 30s as opposed to, and try and take a new career path. So I don't think it's a it's a definite that you have to be a certain age to try and reach goals, but you just have to be, like you said, realistic at times.
So let's talk about you now, because you were talking about being retired before the age of 35. After having such a disciplined life with a routine, I'm sure routine's hugely important, and then suddenly that's it.
Yeah.
In terms of sort of finding your purpose and what does Carl Frampton do next, how did you cope with that time?
To be honest, at the end of my career, I was kind of looking out, and I'm not someone, I trained because I had to, and it was part of my job, and I trained very hard, but I'm not a person who enjoys the gym. I'd rather, train a couple of times a week, just for general fitness. And that's what I'm doing at the minute. But I've got a contract with BT Sports. I'm doing a bit of punditry. I'm doing stuff with the BBC as well. I've also been making appearances on a daytime TV show on Channel 4 called Steph's Packed Lunch, which is great. So I've been busier than I expected to be, and I think that's probably a good thing.
And how do you find the whole punditry world?
It's all right. I think it's easy, if I'm being honest, because it's literally say what you see. And the issue is with some people is they're not honest enough to be pundits, and they're worried about offending fighters who they know when they haven't put in a good performance. But I will be critical if someone deserves criticism, but I'll also praise fighters if they've put in a good performance and perform well. So the thing I always get when people talk about my punditry, the feedback is good, but they always like my honesty. So,
but you've walked the walk as well, or so it's like you're coming from that perspective. So I'm just wondering, when you were back in the ring, would you have got annoyed at pundits on what they said about you?
I probably would have, but I feel like I'm a rational person. I'm not going to fall out with them, and when the dust settles, it's okay. If it's justified, sometimes pundits can say things that in my opinion, I didn't think they were justifiable, and they were maybe having a dig and a little bit over the top. But I like to think I'm rational, and if I deserve criticism at the time, then I'll take it.
And any exciting young fighters that we should be looking out for at the minute that you've seen?
Yeah, there's loads at the minute. Boxing in Northern Ireland is booming. You've got a kid called Lewis Crocker, who's very good from Sandy Row. We've got a kid called Kevin Agyarko from West Belfast. Just signed a big deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. He's very, very exciting. And then you've got kind of established fighters. Mick Conlan's about to fight for a world title. You've got Tommy McCarthy, Tyrone McKenna in a huge fight coming up. So the boxing scene is very, very healthy at the minute.
And always has had a real love here in Northern Ireland. There's always been something and an attraction, and people love it. The fact that you will get recognised as being Carl Frampton, even though you retired before the age of 35, you can't walk down the street and everybody will go, there's Carl Frampton. How does that make you feel? Because there's responsibility comes with that.
Yeah, I think so. And whether you like it or not, you've been given a platform because of your successes, and you should use that to positive effect, I think. So, people want to say hello to me and talk to me and ask for advice about anything, really. Or help them out with charities or whatever it is, then I'm always willing to do that.
Now, we have another question here today, and James says, as a world champion boxer, you've spent countless hours training, practicing, learning new skills. How important was the network of people around you when you were training for your championship fights?
Very, very important. And again, I realised that a little bit more when I moved on from my first team and to my second team, and the guys, I was based in Manchester the second part of my career, and all from similar backgrounds to me, and good people, real good people. I had my number one coach, a guy called Jimmy Moore. I had his assistant, a guy called Nigel Travis, who helped me out so much as well. But then you've S&C coaches, you've nutritionists, you've your teammates around you as well. You've cut men for bad cuts on the night and stuff. So it's important, I think, for a boxer to have a good close-knit team around them, but there's other boxers who have too many people around them as well at times, and that can be detrimental, I think.
As you were saying, yeah, absolutely. Now, your career has taken you all over the globe. It really has. I mean, obviously, your brilliance has too, but those opportunities must have been incredible. Can you pick one moment that stands out? If I said to you now, what was just your favourite moment? Wow. Can you talk us through it?
It would probably change if you asked me this again tomorrow, because there's a few. But winning the first world title in Belfast in the Titanic Slipway purpose-built arena, that was pretty special. New York, when I was an underdog against Leo Santa Cruz.
Wow.
Yeah, they're the two off the top of my head.
Alan Clark has also asked me to put this question to you, and Alan is Manufacturing Training Coordinator. He's key to rolling out the apprenticeships at Lakeland Dairies. So, as we've seen, Lakeland Dairies are one of our SME finalists. So Alan's question is this: if it hadn't been for boxing, what line of work do you think you might have pursued, or why?
Oh, so I had in my head, for a while, I was thinking of joining the army. I was, again, 16, 17. I know that as a sportsman, a decent sportsman in the army, you're not going to end up in Iraq or Afghanistan normally. You'll be working and training in a gym normally, and as their boxing team. I had it in my head as well, if nothing worked out, the boxing, or I liked football as well, but if the sporting life didn't work out, I'd always like to have been an electrician, I thought, a spark, but I couldn't wear a plug at this point.
But you were good with your hands, so do you think the apprenticeship route would have been something you'd have been interested in?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I would have had to become an apprentice if I wanted to be an electrician. So that was a thought in my head at around 16. Yeah.
And I suppose we have to change the way we look at apprenticeships. They're offering a fantastic opportunity for young people now to earn and learn. You know, and they don't necessarily then have the debt that so many other young people find themselves in if they go down the university path. Is this something that you would be interested in for your own kids?
Yeah, I think so.
I know they're only young.
Yeah, they're only young, so I'll let them make their own decision. But I think that apprentices in all walks of life are needed, and you know, whether it be even manual labour jobs like joinery work or plasters, painter and decorators, whatever it may be, I think they're so important. I don't know what my kids are going to do, but whatever they do, I'll always support them.
And are they saying to you they're interested in any particular things at the minute?
Not
only
really.
11 and 7.
Yeah, 11 and 7. The 7-year-old, I don't know what he wants to do. I haven't got a clue. Probably something to do with the PlayStation, maybe he'd be interested in. But
gaming's huge.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I don't understand it that much, but it's massive. My little girl, she's very determined. She works really hard. I think she could do whatever she wants to do.
And finally, there's so many people tuned in now. Have loved this interview. It's great listening to you, but we're always looking for those words of wisdom to leave people with. You know, some people have won today, some people have been finalists today. It'll really boost their careers by getting involved in something like this. But what's your top tip to everybody tuning in?
Well, if it's a realistic goal and a realistic target, if you want it enough, then you can get it if you work hard. That would be it, really.
Yeah. Everything that's worth getting requires that hard work.
Absolutely.
Carl, it's been great to have you here today. It's really added a bit of pizzazz to our ceremony, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Now, before we move on to our next award, I'd like to welcome our final speaker of the day, Chantel McDonough. Chantel was the winner of the 2021 Apprentice Award, and she's back with us. We're delighted she's here to tell us about her inspirational apprenticeship journey. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. I would like to start off by saying thank you to Sarah and the Minister Gordon Lyons for inviting me here today. I would like to talk about my personal apprenticeship journey, how I got there and where I am now. When I finished secondary school, I wanted to go on and further my education as I knew it would be beneficial in my life. I also felt that the apprenticeship route was right for me, and I was given the right information about it while I was at school. While I was completing my apprenticeship, I was working for an organisation called STEP. In this organisation, there is a project called Anterman. It is a traveller-based project. I worked in this project in a homework club working with Irish travellers. I did my training in an organisation called Cull Island Training Services, and at the end of my training and apprenticeship, I got a level 1, 2 and 3 in a childcare diploma. While doing my apprenticeship, I was given the time to learn and also be paid. This allowed me to grow my confidence as it allowed me to experience what it felt like to work in a job. The apprenticeship itself allowed me to gain knowledge and experience from my chosen career. My training experience was great as I was given support from the staff as I endured my training. If I needed any help, support or encouragement, they were always ready to help. My working experience was also good as they supported me and encouraged me to learn different skills and allowed me to use my own ideas to start up groups and speak at different events. When I was nominated for the Apprenticeship Award in 2021, I was full of different emotions. I was shocked, happy, overwhelmed and excited. I was the first in my family to go on to further education, so it was an exciting and happy time in my family when I was nominated. When it was announced that I was a finalist, I was happy. Of course, I wanted to win, but I also knew that everyone who took part and who was a finalist also deserved the chance to win for their work and dedication. When I won the award, I was so happy. I felt that all my work had paid off and anyone was able to do what I had done. Within my community, it is not common for young girls to pursue a career, but in recent years it is changing for the better. So even for me to win this award has allowed me to gain more confidence and be able to say I've done that. I have now been able to start up my own group with Irish Traveller Girls. I've also met other traveller women from different towns and counties where we were able to talk about the differences and common things that we have within our own culture and with others, and how this has been able to allow them and me to come together to better our own lives and to set an example that anything is possible. So to win this award has led me to explore different routes and be able to talk about it when other young people ask and want to know more. I would like to finish this off by saying good luck to all the 3 apprenticeship finalists of this year. By becoming finalists, each of you are already winners. I hope each of you will get what you want in life, and good luck in the future.
Thank you so much, Chantel, and I'm sure you know exactly how they're feeling at home right now, waiting to find out if they've won. Congratulations and continued success.
Thank you.
Chantel, and a wonderful story and such an inspiration to all of us. So we will move on now and announce who the 2022 Apprentice Award will be going to. This award celebrates those apprentices who have made an outstanding contribution to their employer and recognises the hard work and determination they've shown towards completing their apprenticeship. Let's hear now from our Apprentice Award finalists.
My name's Lauren Johnson and I work for Belfast Packaging, Diageo. I'm training to be a mechatronic engineer. I enjoy most about being an apprentice that every day is a learning day. There's so much opportunity to learn new skills.
Apprentices bring something different. They bring importance to something that we have a deep value in, and that is engineering practices. To have Lauren as a finalist is extremely exciting. You know, the fact that she has come in and the impact she's added ideas, she's added excitement, and everything she does and driven real energy to the apprenticeship programme.
Coming into engineering as a female, I've brought so much difference, you know, and I feel like having the opportunity to learn bespoke skills for Diageo is something quite special.
It's great for me to see the apprentices grow. Engineering is a constantly changing environment, and it's great to see somebody from such a professional background that we get the recognition award. It's a great achievement for both Lauren and myself and our college.
To be a finalist in the awards of 2022, I'm very honoured. It just shows that all my hard work has really paid off.
Lauren should win because of the energy, the interest, the excitement, the opportunity that she's brought to us, not only her.
I feel like I should win the award for Apprentice of the Year Northern Ireland 2022 because of the efforts of this year. I've received Apprentice of the Year in Excellence in awards in CERC 2021. I was shortlisted for Apprentice of the Year in Diageo and I'm an Ambassador for Women in Engineering.
My name is Daniela Gianta. I am a team leader and I work for First Source. I wanted to become an apprentice mainly. I've realized you need education to succeed in your role and progress. And the opportunity arose for me to do this course and being supported for my workplace, I was more than happy to just go for it.
Apprentices bring something that we probably don't get out of a lot of people. We're able to use their skills as they're training on the job. Having Danielle as a finalist is something really special for us. So as an outsource organisation, we work with other clients for not only us as a business, but also for them. We really are proud of what she's achieved.
There is a lot of value I bring to my workplace with my knowledge and my new ICT course I'm doing, and especially to my colleagues. And I feel like me completing this course, it's building that stronger relationship between the clients and First Source.
To see the apprentices that we have going through Springvale, for us it's a learning journey. For Daniela especially, she has just been a great success story for us. The completion of the communication programme has supported her in gaining those language skills that she didn't have. She takes that back and promotes that in her workplace as well. So she's just a great ambassador for the apprenticeship programme.
I think Daniela should win this simply because she's fantastic. She's absolutely driven. She's enthusiastic with everything that she does. She uses all the skills that she has learnt into her job, helps develop other people, and is just top notch.
To be a finalist, it really means a lot for someone who moved to Belfast, Northern Ireland in 2020, not speaking any English. After 6 years, me becoming a finalist, it's like something amazing. I never thought I would become a finalist. All I wanted to do was just me getting the education and qualification.
My name is Matthew Robinson and I'm an apprentice welder fabricator at Edge Innovate. I like being an apprentice because, unlike a lot of my student friends, we actually are able to bring in an income as well as learning. I think a lot of my friends who went to university, they wouldn't be able to do as much as I can while still at school.
Apprentices bring a lot of things to Edge Innovate, namely a new way of thinking. Well, it means everything to us to have Matthew as a finalist in the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards. He's been a real breath of fresh air since he's come into our company. It really is a testament to his own hard work and determination and ability and skill.
Well, I hope I've brought Edge a good example of an apprentice. I think I'll always be trying to better myself in work, trying to do the work better and more efficiently.
Southwest College is very much dedicated to the growth of apprenticeships and the development and progression of young people. To see Matthew as a finalist in the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards is a great honour and reflection of Matthew and his employer's contribution to Matthew's development.
It means a lot to me to be a finalist in the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards. I wasn't really expecting to get this far, to be honest. I'm over the world to be going that far, honestly.
Matthew should win this award because of the direct impact that he has made for our company. There are key elements of our design process and ultimately our finished machines that would not be the way they are if it wasn't for Matthew's involvement.
I think I should win the NI Apprenticeship Awards because I'd like to think I'm a good example of an apprentice, and I've done a lot of work with some of the designers and stuff to help improve work and stuff like that for Edge. So I think that should really show something for the business.
Amazing finalists there. And Chantel is back. Of course, Chantel, the 2021 Apprentice Award winner. You're going to tell us who this year's winner is, Chantel.
So the Apprenticeship Award winner of 2022 is Lauren Johnston. Congratulations to you and wish you all the best.
Brilliant. Congratulations to Lauren. Thank you so much to Chantel. But yes, many congratulations to Lauren. The judges praised Lauren for her work in Women in STEM, using her story to inspire others. They also praised her ability to learn quickly with great self-discipline after changing career. Now, that takes us to can't believe it, our last award of the day, which is the Large Employer Award. And this award recognises those larger employers who choose to put apprentices at the heart of their organisations, giving young people and adults the opportunity to expand their knowledge and confidence whilst being trained in their exceptional facilities. So let's hear from our Large Employer finalists, along with their partnering training provider.
Apprentices bring quite a bit of enthusiasm, quite a bit of fun, but they bring a lot of fresh ideas. Without them, we wouldn't have the growth that we enjoy in the business. It's a talent pipeline.
Greiner Packaging and Southwest College have worked together an innovative programme which provides mentored support within Greiner Packaging by Southwest College's lecturing staff in order to support the development of the apprentices.
The apprenticeship programme has developed the skills of our people over the years. They have really sustained our growth in the business. Beyond their apprenticeship then, they have gone on to be future leaders. In fact, a number of them now who were mentored by a number of their colleagues are now mentoring.
The innovative part of the training programme with Greiner Packaging is the broad range of experiences that the young people are exposed to through the job rotation, throughout the duration of the programme, and the mentoring that's provided.
To be a finalist in the 2022 awards, we're quite humbled, to be honest. When we started, that we had a vision of this programme, and I think it's a recognition for a lot of hard work that have gone in by many people. It has been a catalyst for many other businesses in the Mid-Ulster area.
The partnership between Greiner Packaging and Southwest College is deserving of an award because effort that Greiner have put in order to not only develop the training programme for their own needs, but the sharing of the learning along the journey with all their employers in the local area.
Apprentices bring lots of benefits to Kainos. They bring lots of energy. They really help to make our workforce more diverse, and just the willingness to learn. It's fantastic. Whenever an apprentice comes into Kainos, they will have a 16-week training academy. So that will teach them the technical skills, the professional skills, and just some personal development to really set them up.
VRP, or variable rate progression, brings great innovation to the course. Traditional part-time courses are fixed in their duration, but they don't offer, tailorability to each company. Affords companies the opportunity to tailor a route for their apprentices through the course.
Having apprentices in our company have really helped. We have some really bright stars coming through our apprentice programme who have been really closely involved in some of our major projects to support the COVID-19 reaction. So it's been really, really valuable that they have been with us for the last couple of years. Oh, it's such an honour to make it to the finals. I think it's just great to get the recognition of what a fantastic programme it is that we offer, and the fantastic apprentices that come through our programme.
I think our partnership should win really due to the longevity of the relationship with Kainos. I mean, we have a really true collaboration. We've innovated together in terms of our VRP model. Kainos has also helped us to grow our scheme so that it now benefits more than a dozen companies. And so I think, we have a really holistic relationship.
Apprentices are our talent pool. Some of these apprentices have just finished their GCSEs and they're being offered a job, full-time salary and a fully funded degree. So, for that's a great opportunity.
Well, apprentices bring to Farran's a lot of benefits because what you're doing with an apprenticeship is that you're building the academic, professional learning outcomes. That person with the experience is much more valuable than just a graduate with no background.
Our training is innovative because we rotate the apprentices throughout the business so they have a sound understanding of the company as a whole.
So what's really important for the business is the fact that there's a skills shortage in Northern Ireland of civil engineers. The industry really needs these graduates, and they need them on the ground, and they need them on the ground running.
To be a finalist in the Apprenticeship Awards for Farran's is absolutely fantastic. We've put a lot of work into our apprentices, so sitting here today as a finalist feels fantastic.
It's really important to be a finalist alongside Farran's. Really, really good to have a working relationship with one of the largest contractors in Northern Ireland. The actual delivery is meeting an industry need, and we are helping industry overcome the shortcomings in outputs from other universities.
So, to announce the large employer winner, I'd like to welcome back our VIP guest speaker for the day, Carl Frampton. It's been quite a day so far, Carl.
It's been a great day, Sarah, and congratulations to all the finalists so far. But I've been told for this particular award that the judges had an extremely difficult job due to some very strong nominations. They couldn't separate two of the large employer finalists and have decided to make it a joint award. So, the winners are Farran's Construction in partnership with Ulster University and Greiner Packaging in partnership with the Southwest College.
Ooh. Congratulations to both of these partnerships. Yes, indeed, I think the judges had a really difficult task with this one, but our joint winners are Greiner Packaging with Southwest College and Farran's Construction with Ulster University. Now, the judges noted Greiner Packaging along with Southwest College as setting the bar in relationship to apprenticeship support. And they also applauded Farran's along with Ulster University for being instrumental in the development of the Level 7 apprenticeship programme to widen access to the civil engineering industry. Well, folks, can't believe it, but that actually closes our proceedings for the day. Thank you all for tuning in wherever you are, at work or at home, and attending the Northern Ireland Apprenticeship Awards virtually for 2022. Let's hope that we can be all together next year. Thank you so much to Carl Frampton for being here. You've had a good day?
Yeah, I've had a great day.
Fantastic. So huge well done to our 18 finalists and each of our winners. I hope you continue the celebrations. Bye-bye.
Take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? To hold it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. I take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh?